Now, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, I'm the baddest motherfucker in this battle rap shit, period. You already know who it is. I ain't even got to say my name. If you don't, then just watch battles. You'll see that face right here. BattleRap.com. Exclusive!
So we're here today talking about an Ether update. You dropped the main event, presumably.
Yes.
So you dropped the main event. You've had the press conference for Dizaster versus Cassidy. What's going on with things these days?
Well, we basically have been putting together just the coldest card possible. And the whole point of the card is really just showcasing the talent from the West and the dudes that we're going to have the most emphasis on over the course of the next coming year. And just branding them and getting everybody that's already in the scene familiar with them and beyond. So it's all very, very Fresh Coast centric. You know what I mean? It's all the artists that are going to be popping off on the Film On and King of the Dot platform for the next year. So we're getting the best matches possible for them. All the dudes that have been building the West. That's it, period. So
can you name names yet?
Well, I will tell you one, and this ain't even anything like it's a sick match, but some people already know that Danny Myers versus Heartless, that's
Right.
confirmed. You know,
Yeah.
that's pretty sick. And those are two West Coast cats, but it's kind of different generations. Heartless, who came to prominence through the jungle and all that, and was one of the originators of the punchline style that everybody and their mama running with now. Mm-hmm. And Danny Myers kind of his style is like brand new retro because it's like a throwback to an era when MCs were far more hungrier and far more just aggressive and just about tearing motherfuckers down, which you don't even see that much anymore. It's like cats is up there just, like ass betting. They're not even going full force with it. But he always does. So I think that juxtaposition is going to be crazy. That's the only West on West crime you finna see on that card, though. Mm-hmm. Everything else, it's them versus them.
Tell me about the Ether venue.
So, since Film On, Fresh Coast Media, we fucks with BattleRap.com, Hip Hop DX, very heavy. Y'all are the homies. We want to exclusively let y'all know first before it comes out the woodwork and the apocalyptic air horns are resounding through the whole entire world of battle rap. It's going down at the Belasco Theater on Hill Street in downtown LA. That is the venue for Ether. We'll be launching the pre-sales very, very soon. You'll be able to get them on filmon.com/rap, where you can still get the pay-per-view for only $35. It's gonna be raising soon. So get that, and you'll be able to get pre-sales, VIPs, and all that. Belasco Theater, literally the dopest venue I've had the pleasure of working with in the battle rap context and beyond. I'm dumb psyched about this.
What makes it so good?
It's just icy. The whole aesthetic is crazy. It looks like an elegant, crazy like opera house from like the 1920s or from the Prohibition era. But it's huge and it also still at the same time feels grimy. It feels like I'd imagine it'd be the kind of spot where like you would have seen when Pac and Big did that performance together on stage. When they were rapping on stage, that crazy audio clip that you hear every once in a while, whatever, like that's what it feels like. It's the dopest hip hop spot possible, but it feels simultaneously really gritty, yet the way it's going to be presented is real clean and glossy too. So it's perfect. I'm psyched. Belasco Theater, fucks with it. Filmon.com/rap. Oh boy.
How many battles are you aiming for that Ether card?
The Ether card's going to have, as of now, there's 6 matches. Possibly might be 8 total, but it's going to be, our pay-per-view is airing from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. There's 6 battles on that card. And we might have a couple other additional ones that are at another point in the event, but for all intents and purposes, it's those 6. As well, there's going to be a lot of other entertainment as well on there that's going to blow people's minds. Shout out Gianni. Oh boy.
Battle rappers versus industry rappers?
Oh, there's a couple other industry matchups, but predominantly it's dudes that are the top cats from the East Coast and the Midwest versus the top Fresh Coasters. Now, There is somebody else that we're going to be working with a lot over the next year, who's actually not from here, but he's from here in other ways, if you know what I'm saying, and that's Arsenal. We're fucking with Ars Heavy. Shout out to Rebel, you know. I'm the first dude that booked Ars outside of the East Coast ever, you know, back in 2009, and we've been rocking with each other a lot since then. People don't even realize. So you're gonna see a lot of things to come. You know what I mean? Even though he looked like he's from Miami, you know, like it's still gonna be popping.
Who would you want to put Arsenal against?
You're gonna see on this card, without saying too much, Arsenal against one of the classic top West Coasters. That's already locked down, and you're gonna be seeing a few different so we have this event, and then we have another big event we're putting together with the homie Nakaya out in Boston, which is in May. You're gonna see Arsenal with a big battle on that as well, and then there's obviously the King of the Dot Blackout card in January. So that's kind of like the Ether, Blackout, and then that Boston event. That's like our next 3 major moves as far as events.
So no one really knows anything about this Boston
Basically,
event
we're shitting on the game through June already. Catch up, y'all are fucked.
Diz versus Cass. Tell me how people's reactions were when it was first announced.
Man, I mean, it ran the gamut. Basically, like I told y'all, we was gonna fold the internet in half. It's crumpled up. You just gotta iron that bitch. You know what I mean? You gotta iron it. It's creases everywhere. It's too creased. People, you know, it was a lot of excitement. Cassidy returning back to the ring. There's the outrage people were feeling. Oh my God, Dizaster, I thought he was banded. What the fuck is going on? There was this match doesn't make sense to me. It ran the gamut. But I think after the press conference, what was so successful about that is it put everything in perspective. Not only did we literally make hip hop history by Cassidy being the first ever living rapper to have a hologram of himself ever in the universe, you know what I mean? Unless there's some parallel universe and I ain't a hip hop. But that shit right there, beyond that, just the fact that people left it like, damn, there's some genuine animosity. There's a bunch of angles that I didn't see. And this match is dope. And that's kind of the general consensus now. People just, if not for anything more than just pure voyeuristic fascination, they want to see that shit. It's the fucking most important battle ever set up.
Why do you say that?
I mean, because it is. It's already generated more discussion. You're talking about the artist that people have wanted to see booked in battles more than anybody. That it didn't even make sense. People didn't think it was possible. This is a dude that was turning down 6-figure offers, you know, like no one thought it was within the realm of feasibility for it to even happen. So like just the fact that it exists and the fact there's so many elements that make it the most important battle. People can downplay it all they want, say what the fuck they want. It's a fact. Wikipedia that.
Recently you posted a drawn portrait of Solcon, kind of teasing that he perhaps might be involved in something in the future. He's spoken very clearly about
hold on, I'm not gonna do the battle.
Right. Is he someone you're in talks with, or is that just
Socon's my homeboy. Like, I support him fully. I fucks with his music. Him and J57, they kill it. All them fools. Like, we had not been in any discussions. If he wants to battle, he knows who to holler at. You know, like obviously we'd cash him out handsomely. You know, I don't know if we for sure got a nice little emoji, money bag emoji for Solcon, if you want to come back to the battle rap world. But that was literally just to put more pressure on him and just to like get more people talking and harassing him and hoping that eventually it's gonna, you know, snowball into him submitting to a battle and wanting to do that shit. But no, literally I saw that drawing on a message board and was like, okay, I know people are finna listen to what I say, so I'm just gonna post this up and fuck with people.
What about a guy like Dumbfounded?
I'd say there's a much greater possibility of that happening. Now, Dumb is like, it would really have to make sense. This dude he's a guy that gets paid considerably to do shows. He goes on college tours all the time. He you feel me, Eminem in Korea, you know, so he O2 Nelly in Korea. So it's not really for him to like put his rep up and to do it would really have to be worth his while and something that made sense. I would love to see him versus Conceited, something like that. So
You think that's a possibility?
We got a lot of chicken for them too, feathers and all.
Is that something
eggs.
that Khan would be interested in?
Khan has been hollering that for years. That like Khan was talking about that when like around the time Dumb had first announced his retirement. Like in fact, that was something that I was trying to get Khan to do when Dumb was still active. But the stylistic differences was so great, and Khan was really branding himself within that lane. And he most of his battles that had been seen were on the Fresh Coast in the jungle and shit like that. But he was really choosy about his battles, and the opponent was more important for him than the money, which I think now might have changed a little bit. And Khan just loves to battle, and if you got the guap, he's kind of like Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro will do an Oscar movie, and he'll do the fucking like new
Meet the Parents.
Exactly. Even something way more lowbrow than Meet the Parents. He'll do like straight to DVD, like National Lampoon's fuckery if they're cashing him out. Like De Niro do whatever. That's like, and that's kind of like Conceited in this battle rap shit.
What about...
He regretted it as soon as Dumb retired and he saw the views. He was like, oh man, I didn't even know it was like that. And I was like, yeah, bruh. Should have battled him, bruh. Battled funny Asian dude, bruh.
He did pretty well against Magic last weekend. I thought
Yeah,
that was
I
the
heard,
closest battle of the night.
Yeah, from all accounts, like people, it's crazy. Like there's all these flavor of the month brands that, and I'm not referring to Magic as that because I think Magic actually has proved longevity at this point for show. But there's a lot of rappers that kind of become the it dude in battling, and they'll have a few month window of time where they can get booked for $5-6 grand or some shit because people really want to see what they're gonna do. But a lot of them dudes don't have the longevity. Guys like Conceited, guys like Arse, Diz, Day, Charlie Clips, they've been doing it for years. You know what I mean? Those brands have longevity to them.
Talked about hot commentators. You have somebody lined up yet?
Yeah, we do. I can't say who it is. Big in hip hop. Very exciting. A lot of crazy special guests. We got famous comedians. We got famous rappers and hip hop impresario type figures, and we got famous dead people all gonna be at the event. Like
Famous dead people.
famous dead people.
You can have that Tupac hologram making a cameo?
We got famous dead people finna be at the event, bro. You feel me?
A lot of these biggest battles of all time that have been set up haven't lived up to expectations. I think Hollow versus Lux did. Hollow versus Budden didn't. Where do you think this is going to land the day after the battle goes down?
Well, I'll tell you this, off top, we're gonna have the best production value of any pay-per-view ever. The whole way it's gonna be set up. The fact that we have now like all these other outlets, when we first saw, by the way, we couldn't even see Joe Budden versus Hollow Live because the pay-per-view stream wasn't even working. Like the ETV pay-per-view stream, which, shout out to Film On, powered by Film On, that right there separates it. We could have fucking, Michael Jackson's ghost taking a shit on stage, it wouldn't fucking matter. You know what I mean? Like, literally, because the way it's presented and the way it's gonna look, that in itself makes it on a higher level. The fact that there's already been huge concerts, there's an Akon concert, there's big boxing matches that have already existed on this platform. We know that it works. We know that there's better customer service. It's gonna look clearer. It's gonna be have hotter commentators, doper hosting, everything about it. And we're preserving the elements that those formats didn't. I really respect what Total Slaughter did as far as their ambition of they knew that they had a bigger budget than anybody in battle rap ever did, and a lot of that was dedicated to the whole presentation. Now that's cool that they did something that aesthetically no one was able to achieve before that, but what they, in my opinion, what was one of the major shortcomings is they stripped a lot of the elements that actually resonate with people about battles. First and foremost, the presence of a crowd, other people there. People want to see the reactions. Believe it or not, motherfuckers want to see Poison Pen and me and our quote unquote retarded ass reactions, whatever. That's a big driving force behind everything, and it inspires the rappers, it sets the vibe. There's so many elements. So I haven't even brought up the fact that Cassidy is a much more obvious choice when it comes to who would be a better MC for this format and who would actually execute. And the fact that we've already seen Dizaster within this context, and he's been successful, like when he battled cannabis. So there's so many reasons why that this is a guaranteed success, and even if it's not, it's gonna look way fucking cooler as it's happening.